Hey guys, Funkymusic here. Just want to go over the rapid rejuve glyph real quick. I get a lot of things about the rapid rejuve glyph. It's one of the main things I see wrong with a lot of resto druids besides using Nature's Grace in the spec. And just kind of wanted to cover that today. Give you a reason why rapid rejuve is garbage. So when you look, let's look at the glyph of rapid rejuvenation. Your haste now reduces the time between your periodic ticks of your rejuvenation spell. Right? Sounds good in theory. It really does sound good on paper. This glyph is very powerful in 10-man and 5-man. Very powerful. And if you need it on Heroic Lich King, very powerful thing to swap to. Highly recommended on those fights and in those sized raids or 5-man dungeons. It works wonders. But in AoE fights, which we all know ICC is pretty much a lot of AoE fighting, it actually gimps your healing. Everyone's funky. What are you talking about? Why would rapid rejuvenation hurt? Well, this answer is simple, really. If you're spec'd correctly and have everything correctly, your rejuvenation, as you can tell here, I don't know if you guys can be able to see it, but it's 18 seconds is your rejuvenation. So if you were to swap, let's go ahead and swap to the glyph of rapid rejuvenation here, and I'll show you the difference here between why this is actually bad. If we can actually do it, is it going to let me do it? There we go. Let's go ahead and put rapid rejuve on. Alright, so now we have rapid rejuvenation on. Now let's go ahead and hit. Now the timer's at 13 seconds because it's ticking faster, right? But you'll notice that as it's also while it's ticking faster, it doesn't last as long. So you're going from 18 seconds down to 13 seconds as your max timers. Okay? The reason that's bad is because as a resto druid, your job is to blanket the raid with healing. You want to have as many rejuves up as possible. In theory, you should have you have 18 seconds, which means you should have 18 rejuves out if you're only rejuve spamming. But for the sake of actually, I wouldn't say a rotation, but what you should, because every boss is different. You might need to direct pull off and direct heal somebody, stuff like that. But the reason why that's bad is because with rapid rejuve, you're only going to be able to hot up 13 people with rejuvenation, which really comes down to 11 people with rejuvenation. Because if you're casting Wild Growth every 6 seconds, spamming it when it's off cooldown every 6 seconds, you're going to get 2 casts off, which is going to hurt your rejuve timer, obviously by 2 globals. So 2 seconds come off that. So really, you can only get 11 rejuves out with rapid rejuve on. Whereas without rapid rejuve on, I can get 15 out. That's 4 more rejuves. And rejuvenation is going to last longer because the 18 seconds, I'm not going to have to refresh it as fast. So I can actually hot up more of the raid. The reason why that's better is, obviously in AoE fights, I can heal more people. That is actually more of a benefit than healing somebody up really fast. The other problem that rapid rejuve runs into is it does roughly about 40%, if I remember correctly. I want to say it's 40. It's either 40 or 30%. I want to say it's 40%. It does roughly 40% more overhealing from the beginning of a raid to, let's say you full clear ICC. If you go look at your overhealing, it's going to be about 40% higher when you're using rapid rejuve. That's why rapid rejuve is not good. It's a lot of overhealing. I cover this in my guide. If you guys have read it, I gotta go ahead and pull it up here real quick, but it's just not good. Like I said, again, it looks great in theory, but it is not good in actual practice in 25 mans. Mind you, like I said before, in 10 mans and in 5 mans and things like Heroic Lich King, if you can run the tier 9 set with rapid rejuve, it's a lot of, because that fight is just so spiky for damage that it works really, really good on that. But you are going to suffer some on the ledge phases and in Shadowmourne phases. That's why generally I don't swap to it. I feel that the tier 9 spec with the rapid rejuve glyph is more for progressing guilds guilds who are first doing Light of Dawn, because once you have a guild that's got Light of Dawn on farm and they know what they're doing and they've been doing it for a while, you're not going to be needing squeezing every little bit of healing out. You just need to help out in the areas where they seem to be lacking, like ledge phases. All the other healers on ledge phases don't seem to fare as well as Resto Druids do, especially Dis, because there's no infest on that phase. You know, Shamans will still do their thing as always, and Rets will still, or Holy Paladins will still do their thing, but Druids really, really shine on ledge phases, and in Shadowmourne where healing can get a bit intensive. So you want to kind of focus on those areas where you can really, really make the biggest impact. You know, you have to rely on your other healers. You really do. In order to kind of maximize your healing, you have to allow them to, okay, I don't need to heal that target right away. You know, I trust my paladin that he's going to heal the tanks. You know, I'll keep my rejuve on him, I'll keep my regrowth on him, but you have to, that's part of healing that people really forget. They try to heal every little thing out there, and you have to realize your limitations and what you need to be doing and what's best for the group, for you as the healer to also do. You know, that does play a factor into things. Now, having said that, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't break off to go heal person A, B, or C, or I'm never going to heal a tank. No, by all means, you need to be focused on that as well, but it's also good just to have in your head, just as a reminder that, hey, you need to also rely on your other healers. Let me see if I could find it. And I put this in like bold white letters on here for everyone that's going to read my guide. All right. This makes the haste rating lower, which we talked about. This leaves healing per cast time of Rejuvenation unchanged, while increasing healing per second. Okay? The glyph is similar to the priest glyph of Renew in this way. The value of this glyph depends on the damage pattern of the fight. Some fights, such as Twin Valkyrie, will have a Wade Ride Aurora damage for any AoE damage fight for that matter, which favors Rejuve / Wild Growth spamming. In such fights, what determines Druid throughput is healing per cast time, which makes this glyph not good. Okay. Moreover, if the DPS from the aura is less than the HPS Rejuvenation modified by the glyph, then the glyph can even decrease effective healing throughput and increase overhealing, since the HPS gain from the glyph on one target isn't translating into effective healing due to lack of damage. So what all that basically means is when you're hotting somebody, okay, with rapid rejuve, you have to understand if that person's just taking a periodic hit, you know, let's say he gets hit 3 times in 18 seconds, it's not as effective to run a fast rejuvenation that's going to heal them up like this. You want a steady, just tick, a nice long steady tick on your rejuvenation. That way, you're not spending as much mana on it. You're not having to reapply it. You're overhealing a lot. And I even go over that in my guide where some fights do favor Rapid Rejuve. So guys, that's the reason why Rapid Rejuve is a bad choice on 25-man Heroic. And you should really, really look for something else to fill in there. Again, it does shine in a few fights, but I really only stress that you should be using those if you're in a progressive guild, if you are really serious about squeezing everything you can out of your Resto Druid. And even then, it's more to help out the other classes. It's really not. Druids are still going to be gimped on those fights like Heroic Lich King. We're not going to do as well until we get to the ledge phases, the Shadowmourne phases. So unless your tank healers are really having a hard time keeping the Lich King up, you should not be using the tier 9 spec or the with the Rapid Rejuve glyph in 25-man. However, in 10-man, I highly recommend the tier 9 Rapid Rejuve glyph spec. For every boss in there. It's because there's only 10 people. Rejuve kind of suffers because you can pretty much keep everyone hotted. 13, like I said, it's 13. There's minus the Wild Growth that you're going to be spamming, if you even spam Wild Growth in 10-man. it's still 11 seconds. It means you're going to have time to reapply your rejuvenation before it even falls off, because you're going to have 11 seconds with 10 players, and once it rejuves is on a 1 second cast, so you got plenty of time to rehot. You got 1 second to catch up and rehot. Very simple to do in 10-man. Again, in 5-man dungeons, I highly recommend it to people who are having issues, Wrestler Druids who are having issues healing 5-mans and just can't seem to get that on-demand healing that they need. Try Rapid Rejuve. It works wonders. But that's why Rapid Rejuve is trash for 25-man, guys. Just want to post that video for those of you who think it is really good and keep pointing out that it's funky. It's the best thing in the world. No, it's not. So, any questions, comments you have about that, I'd be more than happy to answer them. So, as again, have a good one, guys, and we'll see you later.